How do you tell how heavy a chili pepper is? You give it away, give it away, give it away now.
Give it away, give it away, give it away now! What a star. Thank you, a stinky mouse, for the jollery do and helping us recuperate costs for this their desk. I don't know what that was. But I already have stories to tell you. First of all, I'm sitting at the desk. How exciting. You guys are also sitting at the desk, so thank you for joining me with this desk. How cool. Outdoors again? Yes, in the alleyway, of course. Desk stream. Desk stream. I haven't figured out where to put you guys. Maybe a little bit further back. Oh, yeah, that's better. That's better. No, I'm leaving that specifically because we will be working with that soon. I thought you looked higher than usual. Ooh, yes, that has nothing to do with me being 15 minutes late. Oh, man. Anyway, what's the big deal with the desk? What's the deal with desks? Thank you for the follow as well. I don't know. What's up with my stuff? Anywho, is that a sound dampener? Yes, we shall discuss these things. Did you give the pound a cutesy nickname? Do you call it quiddly diddly? Well, I haven't heard it, but we can make it happen. But yes, it is a sound diffuser behind me. But first things first. Hi everyone. I have a story, and it's not about the crooked diffuser, and it's not about the title. It's about the thing in my hand. So yesterday I decided to do more cleaning, which resulted in it looking even messier over there. So we're not going over there today. But in my hidey hole, it's looking way tidier. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the Harry Potter room. Show us. Yeah, right. Only because you asked so nicely. I'm just gonna make sure that there is one box that does have a doxing thing. So I'll just rotate that, and we should be. Oh yeah. That one is the doxing box. Is hidden. So basically, this is the Harry Potter room. I know people have conflicted feelings about Harry Potter, or rather the writing. I don't care. This everyone knows what I mean when I'm talking about the Harry Potter room. We'll consider it with the light-hearted nostalgia than anything else related to it. But no, there's not stairs above it. If you can think of a better name, go for it. But it is a door in the attic. So it's more maybe like a Narnia room. We could call it a Narnia room, perhaps. Anywho, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland could work. I do like me some Alice in Wonderland, but the problem is that you guys can't really see in there anyway. It's a bit of a void. And yes, we are still on the laptop. But it's just got a bureau thing that, oh, not bureau, a stand that will be taken away, and then it just has suitcases in there for now. So, and my PlayStation 5 box. So, it is so much cleaner and so much tidier. Hi, Dread. Good to see you. I was actually just had a reminder that I put on my list yesterday to message you. So, I'll message you this weekend. So thanks for stopping by. We must be on the same wavelength. Thanks for the shout out, guys. If you guys want to have an amazing TTRPG content creator, then make sure to follow Dread. But they're also just an amazing person. Thanks, Buds, for the shout out. I think room in an attic, I think of Home Alone. Well, name in progress. Anyway, so I literally even vacuumed in there, so it's a lot tidier, meaning that it will be either better storage, more likely it's going to be where I put my costumes when they arrive. Hi, Lily. Hi, Adrian. A hobbit hole? Hobbit hole could work. Hobbit hole is a nice contender. Alright. Anyway, so point being that this side, very messy. very, very, very messy. So I managed to put all of the polystyrene in there. And then this is a whole bunch of tiling and paint that was shoved away in the hobbit hole that predates Rumi. And so I asked Rumi to look through them, and we're just going to take it all to the tip, basically, the rubbish. But I did find one, or rather two treasures that I am taking for myself. And one of them is the thing that's in my hand. And the other thing I won't bring over because that's the doxing box. But I will show you. The person who lived here, whom I've also got, is the person who lived here. I got some extra goss, a little bit of tea, if you will. Rumi knows the neighbors, and apparently the person who lived here was an absolute, like, cunt. Yeah, a lady, and she apparently was just super, super lazy, awful, horrid neighbor, and that comes as no surprise. Yeah, see you next Tuesday, exactly. Comes as no surprise, considering I'm assuming it's their stuff that was left behind in the first place, which, as I've said a couple times, is apparently illegal. Unfortunately, Rumi didn't know that, and so they've just been living with someone else's shit for a while. A capital T, yes, exactly. And so I've been clearing out the stuff in there, so that it can just go. So I like to think I am contributing to this house. Even if Rumi has never been seeing it, thank you, Bar. Even if Rumi has kind of left this as the trash room, I think it's still nice that it is going to... Wait, I'm here. I'll worry about that realization later. So even if this has been the trash room and the kind of place to forget about, I think it's, and now my place, I still think it's nice to get rid of things that are not meant to be here. And so in the crawl space at the very end there, that has like a full wooden poster board, a whole bunch of sheets, a basketball, and it's like, how did they just leave all of this here? But amongst this, and this is also inspiring me to actually go through the crawl space at some point, amongst all of this, I found some treasure. Some pizza, if you will. So it's nice that they left behind some pizza. It's a little bit tough, so I won't be biting that today. But it is basically one of those corner shelves that you see on Amazon and all the time. So if you build it, it goes into the corner there, and it looks like it would be great for putting plants on. I don't think I would necessarily put it here because I don't really want to be drilling into the brick. But we'll find out. It looks like a good one for plants, right? So maybe downstairs somewhere. And so I've seen a lot of these recommended whenever you look up like corner shelf. Yeah, it isn't cornery enough. It's a little bit wibbly wobbly maybe. But anytime you look up corner shelf, you see exactly one of these. It doesn't look like it was ever assembled whatsoever. Sometimes you can tell if it's been disassembled, but this doesn't look even assembled. So she just left this whole thing, and in the package that it came in. So now I even know her name if I really want to be cheeky and stalk her, but that's inappropriate, so I shan't be doing that. However, I do have a nickname for her now. Number 5 is alive. I don't know this one. Doxer, and we'll dox her so that we can say, hey, why'd you leave all this shit? Rude, man. Rude. It is skew-if, but I will tell you about that soon. I'm in a new part of China, says Drunk Lily. Oh my gosh, enjoy. And thank you guys for the follows as well. G'day. So that is an actual treasure that I think I will actually use. So that's exciting. I will put it back in the box because it will be easier. And it seems like it has everything in it. See, look, it's even got the screws all in a little baggie. So I think that will come in handy. Maybe I can put that in the room that I am staying in. So I think that it will be a plant shelf, but not in here. If I didn't have the brick, then maybe I would consider up here as a bit of a finders keepers. But with that out of the way, I think you guys might not be able to see it, but I'll put it downstairs somewhere. Rumi and I can talk about it, and it'll be fine. And thank you guys for the follows. Oh my gosh, did the druid finally close? Is she a redhead? Well, I'm not going to share all my secrets about my title just yet. Is Rumi allowed to drill into the walls? Yes. So Rumi, Rumi owns this place. So they are doing well for themselves, where they have managed to get themselves this flat. So congratulations, Rumi, for doing more than what some of us can. He's right here. He's just producing from behind the screen there. No stress, 9 Fox. Thank you so much. Enjoy your time with your kitty cat. Yes. Are they single? Well, I can give you their number if you'd like, and their address. In fact, I know where they live. So yes, they are a homeowner. And do they need another rent-a-flatmate freeloader? Well, I will ask all of these things. Maybe if we do put another bed up here, then you guys will be okay. Right? Isn't that incredible? So that is why I'm feeling very, very lucky to be here, because they are definitely giving me a massive leg up. Hi, Janek, they are giving me a massive leg up. They're not charging me rent, which I think is ridiculous, but nonetheless, I keep on checking in. They said, just the utilities are fine, and I was like, damn, all right, okay, if you say so. Yes, so they are my friend, and I managed to visit a few friends last year on my travels, and Rumi was one of them, and we had a little chitter-chatter. This is actually maybe a good segue. I think this is a good segue. What's an HOA? Oh, Homeowners Association. I don't think so. I don't feel like it is got one. I'll ask Rumi later. This is a good segue. I kind of wanted to let Rumi share their information. So Rumi and I are still figuring out, or rather Rumi's still figuring out stream life, and so when I came back in November, that was like a nice testing ground to see if it would work out. I brought a bunch of stuff and left it here, so that was Rumi's house, and that worked out really well. And then I got to have my little Dublin trip, and hi Cam. And then I didn't want people to have too much of Rumi's information, because they are new to the streaming world and internet world, I guess. They didn't even know what the internet was. Yes, Rumi is my Rumi, exactly right. So we've affectionately nicknamed them Rumi. Not so much about accidental doxing. The thing is, it really wasn't about doxing. It was more about privacy. And so, because there are some things where I am careful because of doxing. There are other things that I just don't share because of privacy reasons. Not everything needs to be online, and especially for someone who isn't necessarily volunteering to be on the internet. I've just kind of avoided a lot of conversations. One moment, please.
This is to go towards new plants.
Oh.
Kisses.
Thank you so much. That is very sweet. That is very sweet indeed. So not the desk, so we need to put that at 101 so that we can have it for the plants as well. But speaking of plants, 2 of my plants that were in Manchester last year actually live in this house already. So Rumi already had some plants. So they're well-traveled plants that I dropped with Rumi. I had another couple plants that I left with another friend. But Rumi does have one of the Manchester plants, and it is thriving in the bathroom. It's very cute. It's not the first time we've dealt with your friends being shy. Exactly. I just kind of didn't mention anything because I didn't feel like it was necessary. But this is a nice segue. We're talking about it, and I think that the reality is Rumi can't escape having stories told about them when they're living with a streamer. Yeah, that Arlo dude, oh my gosh. Oh, Arlo's doing well, by the way. They've just moved into their place. They've got the keys to their own house, and so they're looking at getting back into their YouTube stuff, which is very exciting. So congratulations. And Gothic Oppa, oh my goodness!
14 months, that's £28.
That's crazy! Thank you so much for the clarification. I shall refer to you as Gothic Orpa or Orpa in general, but it is still appreciated when people make one aware of the name changes. Thank you so much. At least not like 2 days ago you almost choked on your tea. You know how it be. Okay, so point being, Rumi. And then I will talk about the thing that I am fiddling with. So I came over in November, and Rumi had never been to Australia, so they actually flew with me to Melbourne, and they took back a bunch of my stuff. And so they were there actually hiding for a little bit longer. Arlo met them, and so that's a little secret that was going on behind the scenes, and it worked out very, very well because it meant that they could take a bunch of my stuff when they ended up coming back here, and that included my PC, and so it was a great excuse because they were able to visit Australia, do a bit of their own thing while I was with you guys, and unfortunately they didn't really have a good sleeping arrangement, but it all worked out. Thank you. Yeah, it was just a little background thing, and just worth figuring things out. But they did indeed take not take a PC. They took my computer with them. I am spilling the tea. They took a computer with them, my computer with them, as well as a bunch of other things. And because they were only there for a short time, they brought a massive bag with little things, with little clothing, and then were able to kind of leave stuff at my place when they'd go exploring. And then they shoved their bag with a bunch of my stuff, including my entire PC. So that is the tea on how my PC got here, so that I didn't have to, take it apart before I was ready, because I still had an extra month before I fully disassembled my desk in Melbourne, and then 2, didn't have to take it to New Zealand and then the UK, and then that allowed me to go to South Africa in between because I didn't have to worry about all of my electrical equipment as well. So it worked out super, super well. And Kiwi Man specifically, there are other things that they brought, but I am not ready to show you. So you might be able to guess, but I'm sussing it out. I'm sussing it out. I think that you're going to be very, very pleasantly surprised. I, I didn't want to share. I didn't want to share anything because when I got here, I was a little bit concerned about the state of what was brought. But I'm doing a little bit of Frankensteining and I think it's okay. I think it's okay. And New Zealanders are spilling tea in the UK. What kind of tea party is that? Okay, speaking of, let me have a little sippy sip. Exactly, Calm. So I caught up with Calm just before I left and gave Calm some plants, some community plants from the stream room, which worked out well, and now you're aware that there's some sneaky stuff, and it was nice that I kind of had someone to explore or kind of be enjoying seeing my home through the eyes of a tourist again as well. So it was just good. So it worked out very well. I felt a little bit bad because I was doing so much tidying up and cleaning up, so I didn't really get to spend so much time with them, but I think that it meant that they kind of got to do their own thing as well, so it was good. They brought some stuff as well. Even though it's still a secret, thank Rumi for taking care of that. It's greatly appreciated. Well, give it time. Hi, Sub and Scooter. Who did you give your number and why? How long before you regretted it? Well, I'm not regretting it yet, but I haven't told the full story yet. So you'll have to stick around through all of my other stories before you get the full answers to. But I will give... Oh, thank you for the compliment on the cup. I will give a spoiler alert. It was a barista. The regulars know about this one. Okay. Well, you see, the question of who asked is simply a paradox because by asking who asked, you're implying that people need to be asked before speaking. But following that logic, you would have needed to have someone grant you permission to say that because who asked you to say who asked? Exactly. Nobody did. And nobody can ask anyone to give them permission to give you permission because no one asked them. And this perpetual loop never ends, creating a paradox. So by saying who asked... Thank you for your philosophy and insight, Scooter. I'm glad someone was bold enough to say it. Go to your window. I'm standing on my roof waving. Can you see me? Not quite yet. Not yet, but maybe it's the angle. Maybe walk around. How's your mum's cactus going? Ooh, I'll catch up with her and I will find out. I had a massive long conversation with her after the previous stream. I was up late and I was like, you know what, I'll check in on mum. And then we ended up speaking for hours, literally hours. And I only went to bed at 1 a.m. just because I was having so much fun chatting to my mum. It was so lovely. Hi, Les. Clem is turning into Frankenstein. Is that what I heard? Yes, I am Frankensteining a secret. I thought I was going to be in the dumpling place. Not yet. I haven't visited yet. Is it custom made? It is custom made. Yes, this is an exclusive mug. Only 1 of 15 in the world exist, and I have 2 of them. Suckers. Thank you for the follow. Hi, Rand. Angle is very important indeed. If somebody asks me, can I ask you a question, I usually respond with, you just did, but I'll let you ask another for free. Hello, Adelo. I come from Paris. When we knew. I don't speak French, but hello, bonjour. I am originally from New Zealand, but I lived in Melbourne for 10 years, and now I have just arrived in the UK only 2 weeks ago, so that's where I'm at these days. Les has one indeed. Sarian says they are versed in the dark arts of caffeine. Quite. So this mysterious person that you gave your number to following you on Twitch now as well? No, they don't know that I live stream. Nice to meet you as well. Can I borrow one of those mugs? I won't be returning it. I suppose I could do a giveaway. Okay, well, look, I'll tell a very boring short story about the thing in my hand before I forget about it. When I was cleaning out my hobbit hole, yes? No, when I say it like that, it sounds like something else. Maybe that's just me. No, I know it's not just mine. It sounds Doherty, doesn't it? Just like the Hobbit hole. Yeah, we're not using that one. We tried it. It's not working. We're not doing it. My passageway to Narnia. Dread is like the TARDIS, the Batcave. I liked Clem Cove. The Cove. We're workshopping. We're learning. So until we find a better name, it is the Narnia Wardrobe. Yeah, Clem Cove is cute. Harry Potter room. It can't be Alice in Wonderland because it's not a rabbit hole nor a looking glass. The unspeakable place. The secret chamber. Anyway, when I was clearing it out, I found this random thing. It's not quite a marble, and I thought it would be squishy like some of those water balls. So I don't know what it's meant to be, but I like it. The artifact. So it reminds me of David Bowie in the Labyrinth, except a very, very, very small version of those balls. Oh, maybe you're right. But yeah, I need to get 2 more, and then I need to learn how to juggle it. Except it's tiny. A pill from Limitless, I will consider taking it for my birthday then, maybe. Call it the Labyrinth? Ooh, because you don't know necessarily how big it is in there. We could work on it. I'm almost 30, Adela. I know you had a few questions. I'll answer some of those more in a moment. But anyway, that's just something I found that I haven't put in the bin. I don't know what I'll do with it. Maybe I'll put it in a vase. So old. Yeah, I know, right? Hag status, am I right? Okay, that can live on my keyboard for now. Make a ring from it? I feel like that could work. The clementitis. Clementitis, that sounds like a disease. I'm feeling old too. Yeah, not too long for both of us, eh? No, you don't have to apologize. No apologies necessary. I'm just letting you know that I'm slow. I'm the only French in chat. So no, we do have another French individual who stops by from time to time. And we have some Canadians every now and again who can speak some French. So you're currently probably the only Frenchie chatting away, but in the community as a whole, you shan't be the only one. Are you in a central hub of the UK or a smaller city? I am in Southampton, is where I am, Rend. Okay, repost, personal tea. So remember some wank stain stole my swan plant? Yes, I do remember this. My ex went to my old place in Napier and collected and sent me a pot of seeds from the plants that are still there 2 years later. I haven't cried yet, but goddamn, I hate that she's a good person. Oh my gosh, yeah, especially with everything that's been happening with her family and herself, I guess. Yeah, I can imagine that the emotions are running very high for you, feeling very sensitive, and you know what? When you do cry, you are going to be so valid with that. And also, Adele, thank you so much for the compliment on the outfit. I appreciate that. If I call my Samwise, will you let me in your hole? No, I only let Gandalf in my hobbit hole. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So, how did the K-pop class go, by the way? I have not done a K-pop class yet. I decided I will wait until I am back from my Europe trip. I have a Europe trip with a friend planned next weekend, which is very exciting. We're going next weekend for the Easter weekend as well. So I'll be away for a week. I figured that when I get back is when I can sign up for K-pop. Labyrinth is one room. You don't know what it looks like in there. It could have a lot of... So, give it time. Wasn't David Bowie, though? It's why he wore gloves. Yes, I have learnt that there was a juggler stand-in, and that makes a lot of sense. So people wouldn't see the obvious difference between the expert was juggling his balls. I am start giggling at how you phrase that. I like what you've done with the bare brick wall. Oh yes, quite. And then also I have a story about this, that, there thing as well. We Belgians that are multi-language, exactly, the Belgians too. I did intend that to sound dodgy good because it was so good. Where can one find such an expert? Exactly, just asking for a friend. Yeah, Southampton is cute. It is very tired in the sense that when I was traveling the UK and going to other cities, I found that there was a lot of revitalization in the buildings. There were these like running motifs to make them a little bit trendy. They all had a theme going on. So for example, Manchester was very industrial. It had a lot of red brick, which I thought was very, very cool. Thanks for the Lurkbrecht. But on top of that, they had this bee symbol everywhere. So not only did they have this symbolism in the shape and form of bees, and so on their rubbish, on the council collection rubbish, for example, there was just a bee on there. But they also had honeycombs in a lot of their shops and designs, and so it just was really sweet. And when I went to Nottingham, I've said this in the past, but they had this really striking bright blue throughout the city centre, and so it was just really cool to have this care in the architecture. And then I came down to and then I went to Hastings, and Hastings had all of these very, very colorful houses, and I think I might even be able to show you guys a photo of that, because that's a little bit easier to show off if I can find the time. It would have been end of August. Yeah, here we go. I will just choose one at random. So that's Hastings. So they had all of these really, really colorful houses and flats. These ones were the extra fancy ones. But it was just cool. It was just really fun. And so it kind of just had these things gone for them. They were just super, super colorful. Yeah, it was really fancy and fun. There's a little bit of a longer street. Just so many colors. And so that's what I meant, is I was traveling from city to city, and they had just something going for them. And then London is London. London is just grand and exciting and had a lot going on for it. And I'm glad I don't live in London because it had too much going on for it. I like visiting London. I like, and now that I'm in Southampton, I like being close to London where I can just jump on a train, and it will only take me like 90 minutes or whatever if I want to go see a show. But I'm glad I don't live in London. Very Stepford wise, yes. So when I got to Southampton, because Southampton was kind of like last on my trip. Oh, not quite last. I went to Bath as well. But it was late in my trip, and I got here and I was like, well, that's a bit boring. Like, where's the theme? Where it was. Huh? And there's just like, everything needs a good water blasting, you know? Tired is the word that I was using. And so I wasn't that keen on kind of migrating here. But Rumi obviously put me up, and so I was always thinking of coming here anyway. But now, because originally I was like, oh, maybe I'll try and find a place in Bristol, or maybe I'll go back up to Manchester once I kind of feel like I'm on my feet and I can go find somewhere in one of the other cities. But now that I'm here, it's actually really grown on me. There's, I've said this already, there are a lot of parks, and they have this river going through, which is has tides, and so it's kind of fun to go out and it's like, ooh, low tide at the moment. Ooh, that's really high at the moment. There are all these swans that are swimming around, which are really pretty, and it's just a residential city rather than a touristy city. So in that sense, it's got a lot of food to offer. It's got a lot of, it's a university town as well. It's got a lot of cafes, which suits me very well. It's got London nearby. And then if you were to live here and have a family, for example, they've got schools available and good ones at that. And so it's just got everything going for it, but it's not designed for tourists. And in that sense, I actually am like I said, it's really growing on me because it has all of the things that a resident might want access to without the bloody tourists. Yes, exactly, Cuban man. And so I think it's just that reminder that what you are looking for when you are wanting to live somewhere versus explore somewhere are two different things. And I think I'm pretty good at making the most of my situation anyway. So just accepting that I've chosen to be in Southampton, and therefore that is the I may as well make the most of it while I'm here. And the other point is I don't have to pay rent at the moment, so that's nice. And will definitely help me out long term. And yeah, it's just growing on me. I like Southampton, I do, but I like it to live. I wouldn't be like, hey guys, come visit Southampton, it's so cool. But I like being here. It's just quaint. It's very quaint. And I think that all of the families, oh my god, I will say though, anyone who looks my age is pushing a pram, and I'm like, well, how am I supposed to make friends if you all have babies? I don't mind if you're a mother, don't get me wrong. I don't mind if you are a parent, but like, I want to hang out with you, not your baby. Anyway, just get one too. Oh, bunny, are you offering? So we can adopt one together, and we could push a little bunny in the pram around. Anywho, Laquish's loft, leprous loft, I like. The lepers are in there. If Southampton is so great, why isn't there a Northampton? There's Hampshire, so it's a part of Hampshire. I think there is a Hampton, but I think there probably is an answer to that, but I don't know my UK geography. But quaint is good, exactly. Quaint is good. It was deserted because South was so much better. I love that. Oh, there is a Northampton. There we go. Dan knows. So I used to have a lovely pub called The Hobbit with a great garden area, but it's called something boring now. I know that they had a potion-making cocktail bar, but the name is escaping me. When I popped into the city centre, I saw that on the map. So it's got some trendy things going on, I guess. You can make friends with people who are settled and sensible, exactly. Getting baby fever? Definitely not. Babies can be really boring. Yeah, I get to spend enough time with them when I go visit my lovely friends. If you wanted to borrow a kid, I'd volunteer if you were closer. Yeah, we're just a little bit far, and I don't think the trains are super easy between us, eh? I'm fresh out of babies, that's okay. When you realise that they're not MILFs anymore, they're just women your own age. Fully closed shower whiskey intensifies. Yeah, they're just your own age. The beautiful, still beautiful. Hey, they can still be MILFs too, but it is that recognition of us aging alongside them. Hey, bish bosh batch. No one uses batch outside of New Zealand, unfortunately. Anywho, I thought you were going to say you spend enough time with them when you go live. Well, self-burn, I guess. Okay, so before I share my secrets on my title, we're close enough to an ad break where I'll probably I'll stretch it out until then. So, crooked sound diffuser behind me here. I know that it's already bothered a few people. There you go. Very anticlimactic, I know, but I was looking at it, and that's why it was crooked, because I guess, you know what, I'll tell you the nickname of the lady who left everything behind. I've decided to nickname her Becky. So whenever I talk about Becky, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. So I guess it was just hiding this one. But the thing is that Rumi gave me more information. Becky is not the one responsible for putting these up. It predated Becky, who had these things. Although Clem's enemies are named Becky. Yeah, you guys like it? Becky. No, Becky didn't have the podcast. Apparently, it was whoever was before Becky had I have to get that. I have to have a proper conversation with Rumi about it. But from what I can tell, Becky wasn't responsible for putting up a bunch of sound diffuser boards. Yeah, pre-Becky, that's the one. Pre-Becky put these up. And so then I think Becky was so I don't know if these were left up pre-Becky. But Becky, and so I don't know if they tried to take it down or Becky tried to take it down. I'm inclined, with all of the other information I have of Becky, that I am inclined to think she's the one who tried to take this stuff down. I choose to believe, and perhaps this is incorrect. I'm just gonna make the camera a little bit nicer on our friend here. I choose to believe that ow, that was a head bonk. I choose to believe that the person before Becky, pre-Becky, had these up really nicely for whatever work they were doing. And then Becky decided to try and take them down because they didn't need them, and it is kind of, I guess, if you're not doing anything that requires sound diffusing, it's a little bit how you going. And so there are remnants all over the attic. So I think I can show you guys this one up here. That black spot, that is foam. So someone's tried to pull off the foam there, and some has been left on the wall. And you can see the adhesive. I'm not sure if it's picking up on the camera, but it kind of stops about there. And so there's this discoloration where the glue was in the past. So someone's tried to pull these down. And I was wondering, maybe whoever put them up would probably do a better job at taking them down. Perhaps that's an unfair assumption to make, but you can see the glue. There we go. But it just seems weird that two singular boards were left in their entirety. And I haven't pulled the second one off, but this is one of them. So that's why it was skew-whiff, that's why it was crooked, because I started pulling it off out of curiosity to see why this was left on compared to none of the others. And I think we have our answer. But it just seems so illogical and so random of why they left some stuff, why they didn't leave other things, why they tried to half-ass everything. But like I said, Rumi said that the neighbors said she was super, super lazy, and it was a whole, they hated her. It's not that they just disliked her and that she was loud. I don't think they said anything about her being loud, but they said that they really hated her. And I'm like, what the hell did she do that made some old lady as the neighbor hate a woman? Like, anyway. So I think that my name, Becky, is very appropriate. I wish she left $1 million. Maybe, look, I haven't gone into the crawl space. Maybe I can find some treasures under there. Yeah, well, I'm just gonna slurp up the tea as it comes, you know. What is behind the loose brick? Asbestos. I don't want to look. It's scary. I do have some gloves though. Look, I don't have a mask. I was going to look through these things when I had a mask, but I'll hold my breath. How about that? Does the stream need to have a head bonk counter? Well, I managed to not bonk my head yesterday, but I think I'm okay. It was just moving the chair. As long as I don't move my chair, then I should be fine. It's a mod dungeon! Yes, I like it. That's the mods room. That's where the mods live. That's actually a way nicer space than what they've had in the past. So the mods should be happy. The loose brick is a glory brick, exactly. You left a Clem mug in Melbourne and I immediately got it back, okay? This mug has traveled the world because I was able to remember that it was left behind. I left nothing else. In fact, I actually got rid of things for the landlord as well. I sent photos of stuff that had been left over from when I moved in. They kept some stuff. So for example, there was a paint jar that they had left behind, and so they asked for that to stay to go back where I found it, and so that I did. And then a whole bunch of like cables and whatnot that I took to the electrical recycling. Hi Shopper. It is not the PC. So you guys are sitting on the desk today. Very scandalous, I might add. You guys are on the desk, but I have not set up the PC. My cables should be arriving today, fingers crossed, because I still need a cable for my PC. I only have my Australian plugs. Hopefully everything should work, but I need a plug for my PC. Also just other little things. So for example, I was going to set up as much as I could yesterday, just because I had the time. But I went to go set up my microphone and I was like, oh, I don't have my mic stand. That doesn't exist right now. That's not here. Because basically when, oh, Schmick, you missed the story on my PC travels. I have officially shared some PC travel. I know that you were curious about it. I have shared the tale of how my PC got here. So I had a mic arm, and Rumi was meant to take them, but it couldn't fit. So, oh, okay, sweet, you heard it then. So that one couldn't fit, so I ended up sending that in my boxes, and my boxes are almost here. I'm so excited. So after 3 months, my plushies, my books, my DVDs, things are finally moving. I'm so happy. Ooh, they've split as well. Oh, no, they haven't. They've jumped back. Oh, wait, maybe? When was this? This was updated yesterday, so maybe that one will jump. Ooh. Anyway, they're in Southampton. They're at the docks. How very exciting. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. So once I get that stuff, I will have a few extra cables that I thought would be good to keep rather than have to purchase again. But I have purchased some UK plugs, so even one for my PlayStation, for example, and they should be arriving today according to Amazon. Seeing you after many, many months, good to see you, thank you. I made a digital art for you, if you remember. I'm so sorry, JC. I do not remember this digital art. Is it in the Discord? But nonetheless, welcome on back. The thing is, I've had very few digital arts made for me. And there's one that I remember very well. And I don't want to make an assumption that that was your one. Because if that was your one, then it's not, you didn't make it. So if it's in the Discord, then it should be fine. I'll find that later. But anyway, JC, I will check out the Discord again. Thank you so very much. It just depends on which one it is. But I think that I've kind of been burnt because there was someone who made me digital art and they literally just took someone's art, and it made me sad because I was like, wow, you really claimed that for yourself, eh? Anywho, if you do get your PC stuff set up, when you do your reacts, where do you plan to do your K-pop dances, if any? So the K-pop, basically there's 2 places that offer it, and so I think that I'll probably just try them and see if I like them. And if I don't, then I won't continue. They only do the choruses. So when I used to do K-pop dances in the past, I learnt the entire song over 2 months, and I really liked that style. Whereas a lot of K-pop classes all around the world, they just learn the chorus, and so it's like 1 week, a few hours where they just learn the chorus, and I'm just not as big a fan of that kind of short burst, and then just moving on to a next one. Because there's so much to be had in the entirety of the song rather than just the chorus. But who knows? Maybe if I try it, I'll enjoy it. And then the PC setup. What was the question about there? Oh yeah, the React stream. I was thinking of doing them on a Sunday or a Monday. I did a little bit of planning over the next few months to see how I would slot them in. But we'll figure out the routine when I'm back from my Euro trip after Easter. But if everything is able to be set up tomorrow, because I won't stream tomorrow, then perhaps we can test a few things on my Sunday. Good morning! Oh wow, no sassy commentary from the Benedict Arnold. Who are you and what have you done with our imposter? Or no, wait, the other one. You traitor. You're impostering our traitor. Gosh. Anyway, hi Benedict Arnold. Thank you for the 42 months. Much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. Asta, good morning to you as well. Welcome on in. Slot them in, have mercy. I've seen a few of your names as well, but I'm thinking I'm liking Mod Dungeon. The dungeon, but the dungeon usually implies oh, here's the door that I'm talking about, by the way, guys. Dungeon usually implies down. We're up in the attic. But it does feel like the Mod Dungeon, hey. Getting cold, so I'll have to go back inside. Yes, of course. Yeah, do your thing, Nine Fox. Do your thing. Yay, you've moved! Yay! Congratulations! That's huge news! I know how stressful moving is, so I hope that it's been okay for you. I'm sure you'll give us the updates when you can. And I'm glad that it's gone okay. Modbox, that's cute. And I am also doing well. We're just chilling. We're just doing our thing. Hey, le petit hello, Umbasser. It's good to have you back. So I think the wall needs plants and a Birds of New Zealand poster. I wouldn't mind, but we'll see how it works. I am keeping the butterfly wallpaper. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I am keeping it. We could potentially cover the entire door. Yeah, it does take a lot of time. It took me a long time, so take your time with it. Figure out where it is you want to move, I suppose. It's not quite wide enough to just do it easily, but it is a little bit short unless I cut it. It's a little bit short. It won't cover the whole thing. Maybe I can just put a sample of it. Like a framed section of it. Anyway. Well, time will tell. Time will tell. Maybe this one can go in my room downstairs instead. It'll be Netherlands to Indonesia! Wow! Have you been to Indonesia before? that's such a long distance. Oh, I hope that it goes okay for you. And then I've never been to Indonesia myself. The closest I've been is Singapore. But that is such a move. Yes, this is Manu. This is Manu. I'm sure you're missing your Kiwis as well, Petite. And so, when I left the homeland, I brought someone with me as a little comfort of home. Quarter Indonesian, hell yeah, that's so cool. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope that you are able to get into place the methods to get over there, because I think that would be such an adventure for you. Oh, you poor thing. Hopefully you can visit again. I have a friend in Belgium who I met in New Zealand. And they also said that they just popped back to New Zealand because they were trying to get a sponsor to be there indefinitely, and unfortunately it didn't work out for them. But they just said that they went for the summer holidays because they miss New Zealand so much. So hopefully you can head back as well. Hey, everyone back as well! Oh my gosh! Well, there you go, Manu. You're not the only one. I hope when Flat Snacks goes back, he isn't jealous. I know, right? I don't know where I'm going to put all the plushies. We will figure that out when they're here. Belgium is amazing. Yes, I really want to visit. That's why I was actually chatting to this friend. I say friend. I met them at an airport, and it was a whole faff with there are about 6 of us who weren't going to get on the flight. And then they did let us on the flight, and so it was kind of the soldiers in trenches, brothers in arms kind of situation. And so the 3 of us were just chatting away. And we hadn't really been in contact. This was years ago now. We hadn't really been in contact. We kind of followed each other on socials, and that was about it. But since moving here, I actually gave them a little message to be like, hey, I'm close. So basically, I wanted to re-establish connections in case I go to Belgium, then I have a tour guide, essentially. Yes, come visit. Exactly right. No, not a whole fab. Anyway, we are about to hit an ad break, so thank you guys so much for supporting through the ads. It's free and easy way to do so. I will answer Boba's question about what I've been doing offline in the meantime. Uploaded again. Thank you so much, JC. Sorry about it being deleted. I will click on that now, actually. It should just lead me through. I don't want to do it like this. But nonetheless, don't you worry about it, JC. I will find it myself. But I do appreciate you sending the link. That will make it a lot easier for me. I'm sure that as soon as I see it, I'll be like, yes, this is correct. I know it's probably still early. Thoughts on a New Zealand PO box? Or sorry, a UK PO box. Yeah, there we go. Scrumpy is hitting hard. Oh my god. So I don't think I will get a PO box, but I do think that there are workarounds for it. So I've opened up surprise gifts on Throne, and I think that that's what will allow things to get sent here. Please don't make things too surprising. But I have only briefly looked into it, so I'll get some proper details. Yes, I'm in Europe now. I'm finally in the UK as of 2 weeks ago. You're definitely going to love Bruges. Yes, I would love to visit. They have probably the best chocolates in the world. Exactly right. That's where you see Mama went as well. I'm sure no one's surprised given my name exactly. I haven't mentioned it yet, but I'm really digging this sweater. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so I got this one at the end of my UK trip, actually. And then when I came over in November, I left it here because I didn't think I would need too many of my jumpers. After 4 years, there we go. How's life? Life is good. So many changes. I am officially in the UK, which is crazy considering I've spent 10 years of my life in Melbourne. But I'm glad to be here. Jersey, yeah, the Jersey. The best beers. This is something that I also have to indulge in because I don't know my indulge in Belgium. Yeah, that kind of works. I don't know my European beers very well. I'm so used to Australian craft beers, and I haven't enjoyed the UK beers so far. So I have to go and try some other countries, I think. All my Dutch ex-hubby's friends drank mostly Belgian beer. There we go. Yes, jersey like what an athlete wears, but yeah, just like a rugby jersey. Yeah, exactly right, Kiwi man. A pullover, something that you just pull over. A jersey. I haven't spoken to enough Brits to fully assimilate into the lingo, but hopefully that will change. And now that we have gotten our first ad break out of the way, let's spill some tea on this title, shall we? So, my title, I gave someone my number. This is all very true. And it was to a barista. Oh my god, I can't believe it. My stories I've been manifesting for so long are happening. Is she cute? Okay, well, you had to really throw it out there straight off the bat. Hey, one, they're not a girl. How disappointing. Two, they are, I'm sure they're a sweetie. But let me set the scene for you. Yesterday, I go to the cafe and I sit down, I'm playing some Pokemon. I chuck a lure on because it's the bug out event at the moment and there are bugs that are attracted to the lures at the moment. So I'm like, I'm going to try and catch me a shiny bug. Spoiler, I didn't catch me a shiny bug. But I'm there, I've got my headphones in, I'm just sipping away at my coffee, munching away at my gooey brownie. And I'm catching my Pokemon. And then barista's friends come in and they're hanging out. There's just 3 of them. They're just chilling. I'm pretty much the only person in the cafe. I think someone joined me later. Yeah, headphones in with no sound playing. Okay, you don't have to call me out like that. That was very true. I was just trying to, dampen the noise of the coffee machines, okay? And so they're just chatting away. But one moment, what the frick?
Hi, Clem.
That's it. That's the entire just blasé approach to that donation. Thank you so freaking much. That is genuinely such a huge help. Oh my goodness. Thank you. And hi. Hello. Oh wow, I'm feeling all bashful now. That is very sweet. If you're hanging around, you're just in time for story time. We've only just started. I'm just setting the scene. But otherwise, if you have to dash off to work, thank you for the drive by. Hi. Oh, too sweet. Genuinely too sweet. I'm feeling very lucky that my roomie is allowing me with very little overhead costs, but I have found that even though I had recognized I would be having to pay a lot when I got here for setups, like it is really helpful. Just got home! Ah, well, settle on in, cozy on up with your little kitty and just hang out. Yeah, that's the Latin name. I like it. I call myself a shiny barista. That's very sweet. So, back to the story. Thank you, Edlock. Back to the story. So I'm in the cafe and barista's friends come in and they're just chatting away and they're talking about the Pokemon event that's happening at the Natural History Museum in London, which I was actually thinking of going to, but then I decided against it because then when I looked up more reviews, it was literally just a pop-up shop. I thought that they were going to do something like the displays and the what do they call it in museums? Not events. I guess it would be a display. I think there's a word that I'm missing that museums often use that's bugging me. Exhibits! That's exactly it. That's the one. So I thought that there would be like a Pokemon exhibit, maybe cross-sectioning a Bulbasaur or something. Like I don't know. But no, it's literally just a pop-up shop. So you have to it was a free ticket, but then they can escort you through like a tunnel, I guess, to the pop-up shop that is exclusive, and then you just spend exorbitant amounts of money on the pop-up shop, and anything that is available in the pop-up shop you can buy online. So I didn't end up going. But it was interesting because this barista, and I don't know who they went with. I was getting the impression of a girlfriend or a friend, but it seemed a lot more intimate, just off what I could barely pick up. But they were talking about going to this exhibit, and they're like, oh yeah, it was fine because I'd never been to the Natural History Museum before, so I got to experience that. But the Pokemon side of things was really crap, and so I was like, ha, confirmation. I'm not quite sure, but maybe they were just a friend. It's irrelevant, really. They went with someone to this Pokemon, and so I was kind of like, ooh, I want to know how that turned out. It turned out exactly what I thought, so I was kind of validated in that regard. So same thing where I can go to the Natural History Museum in London, but for that rather than for Pokemon. And then as conversation went on, so I'm just kind of like barely listening. I'm still catching my Pokemon. And then I hear something about, oh, how was the last session? Okay, my ears are pricked up. And then there's just, because like I said, I have my headphones in, so I'm not fully listening. But then there's just these things of like, rolling at advantage and a dexterity check and talking about creating spells, and I was like, hello. And then I like subtly take my headphones out and I just full on start listening into this conversation that I'm not a part of whatsoever. And they're talking Dungeons and Dragons, and I was like, oh my god, a fellow D&D nerd, three of them. And so they're like, oh yeah, like, and then this girl, like she keeps on not making it, but you know, we'll still do our session, and we'll invite her, we'll see if she comes up, but like I need to know if she's coming, because I need to know how to balance the fight, if she's coming or not. And like it's fine if she doesn't, but and so then I'm just like getting the goss about this girl who's a people pleaser, but in my head I'm like, if someone doesn't turn up, I can turn up. I can turn up. These are things that I could do. I know how to roll a dexterity saving throw if I'm asked. I can do these things. D&D nerds in the wild. And they just kept on talking about it. And then I was like, I go introduce myself. And then I got too nervous. I didn't do it. I didn't say anything, but I just kept on listening to all of this D&D talk, and I was like, get me in there, coach. Put me in. I'll create a character. You don't have to teach me. I know how to do these things. Put me in, coach. Anyway, so I'm trying to psych myself up to say something. I didn't psych myself up enough. The two friends that the barista was chatting away with, they ended up leaving, and I was like, now's your chance. Say like, oh, by the way. So it was very, very disappointing. I was very sad. However, that's not the end of the story. So I'm just playing my Pokemon, and then, you know, I decide to order another coffee, which is very unusual for me. But I order another coffee. It's you know, people have been coming in and out, but I decide I've been here long enough, I may as well order another coffee. And I'm chatting to the barista, and I'm like, oh, like, were you talking about the Pokemon before? Yeah, like, do you play Pokemon Go? That's what I've been doing. And then we add each other on Pokemon Go, so now I have a new Pokemon Go friend. And then I go, oh, and was that, D&D you were talking about? Maybe, perhaps, if I, like, maybe caught a little glimpse of something. And they're like, yeah, like we just started. I'm pretty new to it, but it's been a lot of fun. And I was like, I love D&D. So, you know, if you ever need another person, like I've played for years. I've just moved here from overseas, and you know, so if you ever need another person. And I was like I'm sweating. And they just immediately, they're all like, oh yeah, cool. And they gave me their phone, and I put my number in, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I sat down, and then they brought me my coffee. I was like, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I did it! I gave someone my number so that I can play Dungeons and Dragons! But there is a big but. There's a big caveat with this big but. Is I don't have their number. So it is completely in their court on whether or not they invite me. It's completely up to them. And I even said, but you know, like, no stress. It's you know, just message if you're needing another person. And they're like, oh yeah, like I'll chat to everyone. So I have no expectations. And I try to set that it's like, it's fine. Plus, I know where they work. So I will just keep on being nice, where every time I go to the cafe, I'll just be like, oh, hey. But I won't be like, so, how about that session, huh? How about that session? I'll just be chill. I'll be casual. I won't say, hey, you haven't given me your digits so that I can harass you. And I'll go to maybe a different cafe so that they don't think that I'm there to try and weasel my way in. And I'm definitely not overthinking this whatsoever, but I am very hopeful. It's been not even 24 hours, but I am very hopeful. Who doesn't like to be harassed, though? So anyway, the point is that in regards to the title, I did give someone my number. They were pretty chill about it as well. Like, they presented their phone for me to be able to give them my digits, which is a good sign. But it's just whether or not they can go back to the party, and, you know, they have to vouch for a stranger, essentially. But I was hoping that I gave off the impression of, help, I have no friends! And that they'll take pity on me. So that's kind of the vibe I was going for. Yeah, how about that session, huh? And it is purely platonic. So even if there have been some cute baristas, actually there's two in particular. One sweetheart, and then one who is just beautiful. That I was like, I'm never coming back here again. You're too pretty. So I have seen some cute baristas in my travels as I've gone to try out different cafes. I'm also very lucky that there are so many to try out. But I have still manifested at least some sort of relationship with my barista. It isn't the first time either. When you frequent an establishment, I think that you kind of can't help but start becoming a regular. So, yeah, friends, what is this? But I still did it. So I'm very proud of myself as well, because like I said, the entire time I was just sweating through my jersey. And I kept on just trying to psych myself up. But I think that this is actually for the best, because I feel like if I had introduced myself to all three of them, I feel like that would have been coming on very strong, and then all of a sudden, then I would have three people being like, huh? And that would have just been too much. But just the one-on-one, I think that was good. And now it's in their court. I don't have to have any expectations from here on. And thank you. Yeah, I stepped out of my comfort zone, exactly. I don't know what it is, because when I was in the UK last year, actually I kind of do know what it is. When I was in the UK last year, I was quite bold at chatting with people and trying to make friends, I suppose. But I think I've found myself a little bit more conservative since arriving. One, because I have just been working on getting my space together. And I think there probably is an element of, for example, if I make a complete fool of myself in front of this barista, I can just never go to that cafe again. Like, I now have the anxiety of actually running into these people, and so I feel like I'm a little bit more conscious of making an okay impression. Whereas when I was traveling, it's like, well, I can take this risk because I might never see this person again. So I'm like, la 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 la. But now I'm just a bit more like, oh, I hope that I don't embarrass myself, because I don't want to have to face my shame again in the future. Why else did I leave New Zealand, you know? Lazy clanker. Well, not for long. The bot will return. It's always easier when you're abroad, you think. For me, I'm way more brave going out of my way and being more myself outside of my country. I think that it makes sense, because you kind of, maybe you're forced to make more connections in a way, or maybe it is this recognition of not necessarily running into the same circles. I don't know. Or maybe it's just not having and knowing that no one has a preconceived notion of you. So I know that can be quite liberating in a way. And I've moved countries twice now. And so I think that for me, when I moved to Australia, and an element of not so much moving here because it's been so recent, but certainly when I was traveling, that you are recognizing that the people that you're interacting with, should you interact with them, don't have any like, they don't know who you are. They don't have any like I said, preconceived notion of who you are, where you've come from, what your background is, and also what your personality is like. And so I think there can be something quite freeing to not so much create a new personality, but just be a bit more charismatic, because you can shape who you want to be because no one knows who you were. I don't know if that's a lot of bullshit, but that's kind of how I've felt. It's like, well, like, you only know what you are seeing in this first impression rather than the years beforehand. So it's just a nice way to reinvent oneself, perhaps. Yeah, there's self-invention, reinvention. Race you to burn the bridge! Exactly right. There's no one who is making fun of my acting career from 10 years ago. Of course, Enla, thank you so much. Enjoy reading. I've been enjoying reading myself, so I need to find a new book, actually. So thanks again for your kindness. Wishing you the best. I'm glad that you're having some downtime. You deserve it. I can't explain it either, but it happens a lot for me. Yeah, so I noticed when I was traveling with my friend in Scotland. One moment. Huck, thank you so much! Any message? No message. But thank you for the 29 months. It's good to see you. I hope you've been keeping well. And so we're just in a little bit of story time. So come on in, hang, do your thing. Chat if you want to. So when I was in Scotland, I found that my friend was very extroverted, and she was, but she had been traveling a little bit more than I suppose, but she also is more extroverted than I. And so she's just chatting to everyone. But yeah, I found that particularly when I was in Manchester and had a base, that I felt emboldened to chat to the locals. I don't think that I'm as chatty when I'm traveling, because I've kind of got a bit of a mission, I suppose, where I'm like, I'm going here and then I'm going to drive to all these places, and I am quite comfortable experiencing my touristy, walks or whatever on my own. I'm quite comfortable in those environments, but I think that when I have a base, like when I was in Manchester, I do find that interacting with people can kind of shape your living experience, maybe. And so that's why I felt more, not obligated, but I felt more, what's the word I'm looking for? I felt like it was more important perhaps to interact with people so that way you can socialize when you're not necessarily traveling around. Yeah, self-reflection too, that's a good one. Finding out the real you is a brave thing. That's very sweet, thank you. Manchester was a pretty extroverted city as well. You're right. So I found that I had a great time. Manchester was a great introduction for me to think about what living in England would be like, and here I am. I definitely think that if I hadn't had Rumi, that I probably would have gone to Manchester myself, just for some familiarity. But I'm glad, yeah, embolden, encourage these things indeed. I'm glad that I have Rumi because it has made things a lot simpler and a lot less expensive. And then, you know, it's setting me up, and then I can find what works. Motivated is the word for sure. Hi Ensom, how you going? The misadventures of a new place. That's so cute. I love it. Anyway, so that's kind of how things are going. So I think that has also simultaneously answered what have I been doing in offline. Because I have been spending a lot of time offline. Some of that has genuinely just been cleaning up here. I think that making this place my own is really comforting as well. I think I spoke about this in a previous stream, where I feel that since this has kind of just had a lot of stuff, and it makes me feel like I'm not imposing or intruding on Rumi's space, because this is above the common area and above the rooms, whereas and we can barely hear each other when I'm up here, and that's not even with the sound diffuser wherever I've put it. And so it's nice to have it tucked away so I don't feel like I said imposing or intruding. It's awesome. Mia Cats, thank you so much. Thank you.
Nice kiwi.
Much appreciated. So yeah, a lot of my time has been spent just kind of trying to clean this space out. A lot of research into what I need to buy to kit out my setup a little bit more. And then a lot of Pokemon walks. Pokemon has been a really good excuse for me to explore the neighborhood. I went to the city center, and I've only had to be there twice really. It's a city center. It has food and malls and IKEA, so I don't really need to go in there unless I'm trying to go there for something specific. So I really want to try out the Dice and Dumplings place. It looks like there are a lot of trading card games nights, but I'm not really into TCGs, but I want to go check it out in general. Rumi let me know that there's a place called Board in the City as well, which is actually out of the city, and that's like a cafe bar that has a lot of board games, so I want to check that place out. So we'll see. Do you fish? Do you do fish? No, I don't do fish in terms of eating. I am not I do not consume the fish. And then so it's just been a lot of, I think, chilling. Oh, and planning my trip for Easter as well. So that's all out of the way. I don't have to worry about that now. And then I did some boring stuff. I did some tax. I had a stack of receipts that have flown all the way from Australia with me that I worked on as well. So it's been very casual. But I've been enjoying myself. I haven't gone out since pub trivia. Oh no, I did Sunday roast. So maybe I will. I don't think I'll be doing anything this weekend other than setting up, I guess. I keep looking out into the window as my thinking. It's just been nice. It's only been 2 weeks, but I think I am slowly finding my rhythm. Is that racist? I heard Kiwi, isn't that New Zealand? No, there's nothing racist about it whatsoever. You can call me a Kiwi, you can call this Kiwi a Kiwi, it is fine. What's the weather like? The weather is actually surprisingly nice. When I first got here, it was this beautiful, beautiful day, and then it was met with rain and grey and misery, as is the English way. Hello, thank you so much. But the last few days have been gorgeous. Actual blue skies. I've been going out into the sun. I took my coat and then I had to take it off, and so I was just, whew, I've been it's been hot, you know. So I've arrived as the weather has been warming up, which I think is a nice way to ease into the British weather. But honestly, I'm living down in the south where it's not going to get too cold. It can snow. In fact, it did snow over the holidays of the 2025 holidays. But I'm not too concerned about it getting super, super cold. You didn't inadvertently cross the channel? Maybe. My Pokemon adventures could take me further than I anticipated, perhaps. Take it off, you say? Hilarious. And what else? You've changed. Hilarious. No, I think that I'm surprised. When the cloud coverage comes in and it's grey, it never really rains. Like sometimes there's rain, but it's more about this gloomy cloud coverage than it being super, super rainy. And so it is kind of like, well, that's the norm. And so then when the sun comes out, it's like, oh my gosh, gorgeous. Give me some of that D. Hot. That's the one. Le Pokemon, correct. South, from what I've heard, I'd like Auckland. What I've heard, I'd like Auckland. Really? Anyone actually intentionally liking Auckland? Wow. Couldn't be me. Or maybe that's meant to be so, from what I've heard, it's like Auckland. I'll see if there's any typo corrections there. Do you drink coffee? And if so, is it true it's not great in the UK? So, yeah, weather-wise, gotcha. I do drink coffee. I don't drink coffee in my home. I really enjoy going somewhere to drink a coffee. And in Melbourne, I would do that frequently, and over here, nothing has changed. So in terms of, is it not that great? I have had the spoils and pleasure of living in Melbourne for 10 years, and I'm sorry, the coffee is just great in Melbourne, okay? It just is really, really good. And then I was in New Zealand for 6 weeks or so, and there were, like, I don't find that New Zealand coffee is as consistently good as it is in Melbourne. But I found my go-to place in Hamilton, and they made excellent coffee, like definitely rivaling and better than a lot of the kind of simple cafes in Melbourne. It was very good. Like I have such a strong bias for that cafe in Hamilton. And then I went to South Africa for a couple weeks, and I almost gave up on coffee altogether, because I was like, this is just not it. I don't know what they're doing differently, but this is not it. No, it doesn't even grow domestically in Australia. So they import everything from around the world. So I will say that as much as I enjoyed the taste of the coffees there, I don't know necessarily, like my snobbery does not extend to the length of knowing why it's so well done. I just know that I am enjoying whatever they are doing. But it's all imported. And so same in New Zealand, same in South Africa. And then when I got to the UK, I was like, this coffee is gonna make or break whether or not I give up on coffee altogether. I have not had a Costa coffee. I don't think I'm gonna have a Costa coffee. It's not happening. I'm not doing it. So I went to Rumi's Local, And Rumi's local is where I met the D&D barista as well. And I like, this is gonna make or break what's going on. And it was really good. It was satisfactory. I was happy with my coffee. And it was funny because the guy was like gonna pack up and he had a brownie in his hand. He was putting them away, and I said, "Hands off that brownie!" And then I enjoyed my first coffee in Southampton. But then I went back to the same place and it was mid. It was so I was like, okay, well maybe the barista that I had was better than this guy. And then I went again and I got the D&D barista, and his coffee is fine. But whoever served me that first time, his coffee was excellent. And so I can drink a fine coffee. I don't mean it's like, it's fine, don't talk to me. I mean, it's just fine. It's as the name implies. It is fine. It is tolerable. It's just fine. But whoever, hot coffee, so I get a flat white is my order. And so then I was telling Rumi about it, and they're like, oh, that might be the owner. So the owner just decided they wanted to open this up, and they kind of swan in and out very, very infrequently. Because they couldn't really remember when they took me if it was. But they're like, no, it had to be. Because I was like, no, it was this person. And like, oh, no, that was the owner, yes. So apparently my barista, because Rumi said that they only like the coffee made by the D&D barista, whereas the other barista, they're like, and so apparently there's an intern, and the Rumi's like, oh, no, never take a coffee from the intern. So the D&D barista is their guy, and it turns out the owner of the coffee shop is my guy. So I guess if I want an excellent coffee, I just have to see if he's in. Interns aren't people, but D&D barista makes a fine coffee. However, I have had consistently better coffees, admittedly, from a further away cafe, and I really like going on that one because I get a proper walk-in. So I actually feel like I'm earning my coffee because I'm exercising as well, as opposed to being really close to where I live. But I have found, and I found this when I was traveling UK last year as well, that it is fine. Like it's fine. But when I was in South Africa, I was like, I can't drink this. And so that is my answer to assumptions on UK coffee being bad. It's not bad. I haven't given up on coffee altogether like I was about to when I was in South Africa. I legitimately stopped ordering coffee because I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I even went at Kith, as you mentioned, took me to this really, really nice brunch place, and the food in South Africa in general is so good and so decadent, and this brunch place was so good food-wise, and the coffee still didn't do it. So it's not bad. UK coffee is not bad. I have had bad coffee, but it is not excellent. It's fine. You don't think about it. Sometimes when you get a cup of coffee at a cafe, you don't want to think about it. And that is the result that I have, is I sip on my coffee, I don't think about it. Whereas I am used to sipping on my coffee and going, so good. But I just sip on it, I enjoy it, I play my Pokemon, and I move on with my life. So it's fine. It's fine. I was like, hi Funkle, good to see you. I thought South Africa was supposed to be a haven for coffee. No, definitely not. But Australia, or at least Melbourne, is very, very well known for their coffee. So it could be this. Resisting the urge to make a joke about tasting coffee. You know, as it's I've said this before, it's a shame that woman is straight. So sad. Got so many great coffees in Hamilton as well. There we go. yeah. So I don't know if you went to it, Le Petit, but the coffee shop that I made my go-to, I shouted out before, so I'll shout them out again. Ginger and Honey. I can't. It's on Victoria Street. What is it? Northeast of the Fairfield Bridge. That ended up being my go-to. So I don't know where you were located, but if you look it up on the map for your own curiosity, that was my go-to cafe. It was so good. I had to go out of my way to get there, but it was worth it every single time. I tried to segue to Kif. It didn't really work out. Kif's doing well. Kif's just doing good. I don't really know what to say. Kif and Flora and Fauna, yeah, they're doing well. I actually need to message. I never gave them a nickname. There's another person, the place I was staying, that I want to message and check in on them, because by the time I had left, they were just having a few things that were going on, so I wanted to give them their space, and I thought that enough time has elapsed that I can check in on them and just see how they're going, and I can fill them in as well. There we go. It's the best paper filters in Melbourne. Is that what it is, you reckon? Sounds like a fluke coffee on their part. No, it's fine. I heard about these birds. They're supposed to live in New Zealand. Yes, yep. So I'm also from New Zealand, but I don't live there anymore, Thomas. I am in Southampton now. One of my old bosses was very hit or miss for the morning espresso. The packing and pressure makes a huge difference. Oh, okay. Does the D&D barista give you a side quest with every coffee? Well, they are not a dungeon master. They are a party member. So they don't currently give me a side quest, but you have given me a great entrepreneurial idea of doing that if I ran a board game themed cafe. So I will pose that to the board game cafes and bars. I used to have to make the coffee for morning tea when I worked for an architecture firm. Cool. They like their coffee strong, and as a non-coffee drinker, I had no idea my next employer asked me not to. Well, you know, we live and we learn, or maybe we don't learn. We just recognize our skills are better suited elsewhere. Sometimes it's best not to know where the flavor comes from, like the Philly pretzel sold corners. So good, don't ask why. I will take your word for it. Hi, Waffle! I'm getting glasses. Well, I hope you enjoy. I have actually been missing my time at the optometrist. I think maybe I can go get myself some new glasses just for fun. It's a shame that women as straight is such an occurring tragedy, right? Can't remember the name of the street of the one I went to. I was wandering randomly as always, and then you just find the best one. So bedtime. Good night, meerkats. Thanks for hanging out. It was so good to see you again. Hi, Craig. I'd give her a side quest, am I right? They bought a coffee machine! Well, at least I hope that you didn't get put out of work, you know? When it's like, I used to work at an architecture firm, but they found that they didn't need me anymore for some reason. That makes me think of shellac, once you know. I don't want to know, because shellac, I know that someone was working with shellac, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Get yourself some new glasses that you'll also never wear. Exactly right. Maybe I'll do something fun. Hi, Cam. Welcome on in. I'm from New Zealand. Hence the kiwi bird just in the corner here. But I've just moved to the UK 2 weeks ago. New Mexico! Hell yeah! That's so cool. Well, good morning to you, I think. Time zones. I have yet to adjust to the time zone still. But yes, from New Zealand, but now in the UK, and starting my new adventure, which is very exciting. But welcome. Have your plants been? I miss them, and I hope you tell them I love them. Well, I couldn't bring them to the UK with me is the problem. So I do not have knowledge on how a lot of them are doing. My ex ended up with many of them, so I'm sure they are thriving. And then I sold some of the bigger ones, and I will never know if they're doing okay. One ended up at a primary school. I thought that was kind of cool. I put one on the websites to sell, and yeah, a teacher was like, "Oh my gosh, like this looks amazing. I'd love to have one in my classroom." And then another girl just wanted a plant, so pretty much managed to get rid of or sell the big ones, and then the little ones I gave out to people in Melbourne. I'm praying as well. Hopefully they're okay. Music Cemetery helping out their fellow teachers, exactly right. And I am hoping that we can sort something out as well. So there's a skylight. I'm in the attic for the those who are new. There's a skylight just to my left here, and you can probably tell that there is a decent amount of sun that comes through from that light alone, even on cloudy days. It is a very blue sky day today, but even on cloudy days it does okay. So I do think that plants would be all right up here, but I'm not sure if they would be okay behind me specifically. Maybe to my left, like if I put something there, I actually think it would be okay. But I will start with setting up my actual PC. I have my camera somewhere that will be good. Oh, I actually have, I did buy a camera stand as well, which I'm kind of excited for. I just got this off Amazon. That's the one. So the camera will go on there, and so I will figure out if I need that whole extra bit. But that's not my point. My point is that it actually came, and the reason I chose this one is it came with a extra phone mount, not foam, a phone mount, that, so if that's the camera stand, and then it has an extra bar, so I'm hoping that that will help for like a Lego stream or anything for top down, and it will be a little bit easier than whatever I was trying to jerry rig back in my old setup. So we'll see how that works out. And I still have to figure out where I'm going to place my camera, but until I have all the cables, it's kind of irrelevant. You could put a rubber plant there, that'd be nice. Maybe you're right. I want to get a shelf of some shape or form, and I want to get a lamp, and I want to, I don't know. I have to figure out where the camera is going first, because once I have the camera, and what the camera sees is when I will decide how we deck out the background. But I like my brick wall in the meantime, even holes and all. So it's not too bad, not too shabby. I'm really just having a lot of fun trying to make a new place my space. It's more exciting than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a lot of pressure and a lot of stress, but it's actually enjoyable, I think is the word I would use. Aurora might be hitting soon. Wait, isn't the Aurora Borealis? You're lying. A friend just dug up a lot of pampas grass and gave it away. I filled my parents' car twice to the brim, made a right mess of it, and dug holes for 2 days in my garden to get the new home set. Now I got a buttload of pampas. I love dried pampas grass, actually. I could do like a dried pampas grass little thing there. Or maybe on this side. Or maybe just a tiny one. Bricks are bougie and cute. Yeah, we got this industrial vibe, but it's a little bit boring at the moment. I think that we'll put some fairy lights on it, and maybe a shelf somewhere. Just like Clever. I've never been called bougie before. I'm so happy. I've always liked to consider myself bougie, but now I have had someone else validate it for me. And which one was that? You should stop her, she'll get arrested for Aurora. Hilarious. So the next thing that I was going to say with the setup, fairy lights, plants, coffee vibes. I'm actually quite happy with this dining chair as well. This is it's not as plush as I would like, but it is giving me the idea that I can just go something comfy, even if it's not ergonomic or a gamer chair. Show chair? Okay. Not debunking my head this time. Ta-da! It's just the dining chair. So the table downstairs has several of these, so I took one in the meantime. But I feel like I should probably give it back at some point. You could just put a nice looking redhead in front of this because I think it would complement them well. Ooh. I think you automatically become bougie if you can have your national animal in front of you. Oh, okay, alright. We'll take that. It is nice, hey, it's comfy. But I feel bad because it is the dining room chair, or one of them. So I will get something simple, but I'm hoping that I can keep this in the meantime. There is this wooden chair that is not really getting used, and I was like, I'm not gonna use that one. That's far too uncomfortable. It is well behaved, isn't it? I think he's a bit shocked because he's awake, but I suppose there's not a ton of... The kiwi birds can be awake during the day. They're just more known for being nocturnal. And so he's probably just still adjusting to the time zone as well. I need to find a good chair for Tree. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. I highly recommend. I'm just going to refresh this because it's being a little bit funny on my end. Cool. All done. All good. And then I will chug this back. After the shoe bill, of course, Q-Man, of course. They're good little guys. I like them. Very happy. So yeah, I've just been taking things very easily over the last 2 weeks and trying not to push myself. I have a very privileged situation that's going on at the moment, so I am utilizing that as much as I can, and then we can build up on things. When I get back from Europe, then my PC will be truly up and running. I think I might just try and get a second monitor, although this TV that I'll be using is massive. But I do find that having the second monitor for streaming does make a bit different. So I think that's probably the only thing that I will need to purchase after all of those cables that I just got. And then we'll be good. Then we can just start testing the PC. We can bring back Reacts if you guys are excited about that. I'm so curious as to what the hell has been hiding in the limbo that is the Reacts channel. So that's gotta be a wild time, I think. No context. And then we'll start playing some games as well. I'm really genuinely looking forward to kind of getting stuck back into things, I suppose, and not really having a plan. I think I was kind of having some revelations with Mother Dearest, and I will share some of them with you as well. I think that because I'm, like I said, in a privileged situation where I don't really have any overhead costs at the moment, it's actually helping me feel a lot more relaxed with stream, because every time I have gone live, and I mean this with all sincerity, is I love streaming, I really do, but I think that I started putting a lot of pressure on the channel, and because it was my full-time job, I kind of got into this rut or rhythm of trying to make it well, like I said, my full-time job, and it's nice to just come here and turn up and be like, hey, like, if you guys want to help out with the desk, great, but I'm okay. I don't have to worry about paying rent at the end of the month or doctor's bills and all these things, and so I'm feeling like I can be a lot more authentic and genuine with you guys again, because I'm just like, I turn up, you guys can turn up if you want to turn up, and we just hang out without it feeling like I have to try and, I guess, yeah, make money. Rub it in, why don't you? I know, it's very, very privileged, but I am very, very grateful, I suppose, of the opportunities that you guys have given me to discover what it is that I want and get me here so far. And I think my point is more that I'm hoping that I can give back to you guys in a more casual environment again, and without the added stress of finances. So that's, I guess, also just my little segue of don't feel any obligations to me. I'm doing pretty well with my current situation, and if that changes, then I'll also let you know. I've always said that transparency is kind of what I've been trying to offer, with still like the privacy as well. Thank you, Kiwa Man. And so yeah, I think it's more just bringing it up as a way to say thank you as always. But like I said, I'm hoping that when we get back into the rhythm of streaming, that it won't be about trying to survive. It'll just be legitimately about having fun. Thank you, Buddy Bear. Thank you. If you saw me shrunk into a very tiny small size, how would you capture me with your hands? Well, I suppose I would ask and hope that consent and charisma would go a long way. Do Kiwis hate Australians? The same way that siblings hate one another, where you can, quote unquote, hate your brother, but only you're allowed to do that. Anyone else who wants to fight against your sibling, like, you'll be there defending. You're allowed to make fun of your sibling, but no one else is. And so it is this sibling rivalry rather than an actual hatred is usually the way to phrase it. What do you call a Norwegian singer that's tedious in Wonderland? Aurora Borealis. That's so silly. Oh my goodness. I can imagine, like, you guys showed me the comedian whose name is escaping me, where it's just this long-winded story for just this terrible punchline. And so I could imagine that comedian drawing that out for like 5-10 minutes just to say, you know, I guess Aurora Borealis. And then you just... thank you for the follow. Let's start from Too Many Cooks again. How many subs for the next epiphany? Hi, Wiggly. And how many new followers did you get from the desk building stream? It seemed like heaps. Well, we did get the raid, but no, we're having a lot of new friends. It's been really, really quite the pleasure to see the new community, or the new people coming into the community is what I was trying to say. So welcome in new friends. Is that different from New Zealand living costs? No, it's just because I'm not paying rent right now. And I trust me, it's giving me a lot of anxiety. Like, every single time I'm saying to Rumi, where I'm like, please, let me give you money. I've been buying them a lot of coffees and drinks as compensation, because I do feel I do feel awkward. But just taking out the cost of rent has just been so much easier on the psyche. So much easier on the stress. And so they just like, yeah, like, I know what it's like moving out. You just, because they've kind of rationalized it now that you guys know they're the homeowner. They rationalize it where me being here, they have to pay the same as if I weren't here. So the mortgage, for example, is the same cost every single month or whatever it is, and so that isn't going up. So the only thing that's going up is water, maybe electricity, and then I just buy some food. So the monthly budget isn't really affecting them. So I just try to compensate in other ways. And I saw you ask about St. Patrick's Day, Kiwi Man. So we got some Guinness, which still being worked away on, but that was pretty much the only celebration. I didn't go out for St. Patrick's Day, but I did have a Guinness, and Rumi as well. No obligations? What am I doing here then? Morning. Happy Eid! Yes, I've seen a lot of, when I went to the supermarket, I saw that there was a lot of making sure to be prepped for Ramadan and Eid. So, happy Eid! What facial would you make when you brought me up to your face when you captured me all shrunken? I wouldn't do that. So I've captured you. I probably wouldn't bring you up to my face. That feels like not. I'd probably just keep you at an arm's distance, and then I would ask what you would like to do, I suppose. Alice! Who the fuck is Alice? I know this one now. How would you catch me with your fingers or hand when you saw me shrunken to a very tiny, small size? Well, I said I would ask permission, so I guess palm. Yeah, space to breathe, exactly. Just help me out with chores. Exactly. So, vacuuming, and the like. So I've been removing a lot of cobwebs. That's been my thing, where they're just like, in the corners. There's quite high ceilings, so I've been going in and removing cobwebs. I bought some new cleaning supplies, so those are the kind of things, like you say, that I think is a good way to give back. And so they have like a squeegee for the shower, and I bought a new one because it was gross. So they're like, oh, thank you. And so those kinds of things, I think, are how I'm compensating, rather than because they're already doing such a big thing for me. And I'm just very, very lucky. And then when I feel like I am all set up, then maybe that will allow me to make other decisions, but I will just take it as it comes, Who names their kid St. Patrick? I know, right? The bloody Irish. Today, Friday, is the first day of Eid. Ramadan was the past 30 days. There we go! So, happy Eid indeed. Is stamp duty only for when you buy a house in the UK? I'm not sure. I would have to ask Rumi for these things. Rumi comes home. Who the fuck took my chair? You crossed a line! Get out! Exactly! I don't have to deal with giant spiders, but when I was clearing out the mod dungeon? Whatever we're calling this one. When I was clearing that out, there are a bunch of tiles, which I have discovered are the tiles for the kitchen splashback. So I'm starting to get connections. There was a decent sized spider that was crawling around that box, but I didn't have to worry about it being venomous. So they still live here somewhere. I didn't escort them outside. They're over there somewhere. I've just relocated them. And they'll probably be happy for it, because I don't think they would have been catching a lot of bugs, because I have yet to find a single bug up here, other than my Pokemon. We're about to hit an ad break, so we'll see you guys on the other side of them. It's a free and easy way to support your content creators, so I appreciate your support. At least oh yeah, this is one. So I think that it's just been very relaxing start to my adventures here, and things might change. And Rumi said that they'll just let me know if they feel like I need to compensate, and hopefully we'll just have very mature discussions about it, and be adults. Stamp duty is land tax you pay when you buy a house more than £125,000, says Ian. Thank you so much for the insight there. So I think that I'm going to enjoy my time here in the UK. It's been going very well. I've got several trips planned. And the rich tax. Well, it's better that than a poor tax, I hope. I've got these trips planned. I was planning on going back to Australia in October to visit my friends and go to PAX Australia, because it's always the easiest place to see people, since they migrate from around the country to Melbourne specifically. However, because there is all of the things going on in the Middle East at the moment, the flight path that you'd usually do between Europe and Australia goes through the Middle East. So you stop at, I've stopped in UAE, I've stopped in Qatar, I've stopped in Turkey even. And so that kind of flight path has been disrupted. Going to New Zealand, technically you can go through America, but Australia is just that extra further, which going through the Middle East is the usual way. So there are some flights that I've done to China instead. So I think that if I want to go back, I could. But I'm a little bit hesitant on booking anything at this stage. Just gonna see what happens with airlines opening back up or not before I make any decisions. And so if that doesn't happen, then I guess I'll just be spending October here. It would be really cool to be back here. Even if I do end up going to Australia in October, it would be early October. So it'd be kind of cool to come back here for Halloween and just see how the UK celebrates, if they celebrate. So I think that's something that I would aim to experience. Time will tell. Hi, July. How you going? Attic pocket. The little pocket. Yes, quite. Just get into a groove. Exactly. It's only been 2 weeks. Just come through the US and visit us and I'll buy you a beer. I did see that there was a Pokemon event in Chicago and I was like, ooh, is that something that I want to do? But no, not this year. I don't think that I will be in the US this year. I started planning out my next kind of few months, and I definitely will be here for several months. It won't be until mid-June. Basically, mid-June is when I will do another trip. So I'm thinking that this April and May, we'll just have a good time. We'll just play some games and we'll just chill. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I think that will be, like Boa said, a good way to get back into the groove. Find what works for me. Hopefully I will get invited to a Dungeons and Dragons session. So then I'll have that routine, once a week where I can go play some D&D. And yeah, just taking it one day at a time. And like I said, that breathing space, that was a good way of phrasing it. That space to breathe has allowed me to not feel so rushed. And I know that not everyone is in that same position. So if you guys are feeling like you're struggling, I get it. I think that sometimes my struggle is self-induced because I was choosing the stress in the financial stress in favor for a different liberation of mental stress. But now I'm feeling like I've made the right choices, and thank you guys for helping me with the ability to make those choices, because I think that's what can be very comforting as well, is just the freedom to choose. And that's what you guys have allowed me for the last God knows how long. So thank you. You got some time on your hands. Maybe you are the DM this time. That is something that I found when I was trying to be the DM back in Melbourne, that it just took up too much of my brain power and time. And so I think that it is something I will be interested in trying out once I find some people. Or maybe if they don't invite me and I have to make my own group, maybe I will DM, even if that's online with some friends. But time will tell. Just one bite at a time with my mammoth and routine and new lifestyle. There was something that I was going to say that has just escaped me. Not the Dungeons and Dragons. Greetings from Florida as well. Thank you, July. Beer, travel, games. If it comes back to me, then it comes back to me. But certainly with the D and or D, I definitely want to. I think that is a good one to try and organize, because then I have the recurring theme as well. Pogo. No, not Pogo. If it comes back to me, it comes back to me. It's clearly not a gremlin that's bothering me. I'm back. Welcome back. I'm definitely able to drive to Chicago. It'd be like less than 2 hours. Wow, really? Or around 2 hours. Damn. That's because I know that the USA is so bloody massive. I wouldn't have thought that that would be that close. I guess it makes sense. That whole kind of area. I sure most of the chat would be stoked to be a part of your D&D group. Yes, I'm surprised that we haven't had. Well, maybe as we get into the rhythm with the new time zone, which I think we're doing all right with more Europeans and British joining us. Who knows? Maybe we'll find someone who's based in Southampton. I don't know, but I don't think we have so far. We've got some people in nearby cities, but time will tell. You look nice, thank you. I miss Fluffy Minotaur. I think that so a little bit of spill the tea. The character for Castleton, like I have a lot of emotions tied up with that whole character. And I think that it's now been long enough where I'm like, no, I did love that character a lot, and they are very special to me. And no, you're, like I said, I can talk about it. For those who missed out, we created a character together on stream that I used for a larger project, and that large project was it had a lot of amazing things. I've met so many amazing friends through it, and it was so much fun, but it also came with its own stresses. And so I think that for a long time I was kind of conflate like those two things. It was hard to separate. And now I'm like, no, it was a good time. It was a great character, and I'm very happy with how it all turned out. And if I were to ever use this character going forward, I would make them a Minotaur instead of an Orc for sure, because Fluffy Minotaur was so cute. So we will return with Millie the Minotaur in Doomsday. I'd be keen. I don't mind staying up, waking up early, just waiting another couple of weeks to buy a camera for my PS. That's exciting. Well, I hope that goes all right for you. I think that I don't really have much more to share with you guys. It's just kind of been taking it day at a time. I'm telling you about what's been happening. I'm kind of just waiting for my cables at this stage. I will admit, I was hoping that they would arrive kind of on stream and that we could set up together, but they have not. So what we shall do instead is we shall call it a morning, and I will go explore some more. I'll wait for my cables. I think I will probably set up a little bit off stream over the next day. And then on my Sunday, which will be almost over on Sunday. Anyway, on my Sunday, we'll be back and we'll do a little test stream with the PC and hope that everything works. And the Clankers, the bot, will finally be returning after like 4 months or whatever. Exclamputer will return. So we will finally get some what's it called? Work happening. So I think that it will be similar, where we'll just hang out. We won't necessarily do reacts unless we're feeling really spicy, but we'll at least do a test stream, and then next week we can have a quote unquote normal week, or see what a normal week could look like. And then I ditch you guys again because I'm going to Croatia. So we're gonna call it there. Thank you guys so much for joining for even just these yap sessions. Sometimes I find that I don't go live because I don't feel like there's too much to fill in on, but as soon as we get the PC back, I will feel more inclined to go live more frequently, because even if we don't have so much to chat about, then we can just play some games or we can watch some videos together. And whereas at the moment, when I literally only have my story stories to tell. I don't feel like I can. I don't feel like I have a story every single day. It's different if we can like bring up, let's say, the Spider-Man trailer to watch together. It's different if I can show you the beautiful muse and goddess that was the usher in the Oscars 2026. Like, it's different if I can show you these things and then we can tangent and spiral, or not spiral, I hope not spiral, but we can flow on with the added visuals together. But when all I have is my voice and a brick wall, I have been enjoying just these like 2 hours, and I don't have anything to clean up at the moment, so I think it's good. That's right, I remember you saying Q-Man. Hi Wolfie. So we're gonna leave it there, and I will see you guys not tomorrow but the day after. If you guys need the VODs, just check out the YouTube channel there under the live section, because of the multi-streaming. It has been so good to just have that there. And hopefully next stream will be on a PC again. I can't believe it! And if not, it's because the cables didn't arrive, so that's gonna be annoying. Thank you, C Mama, for the confirmation as well. She's beautiful. I will show you guys on Sunday when I have my PC. Hopefully. Oh, I'm so nervous already. It's great to see your stupid face. It doesn't have to be an event. Exactly, and I will segue back to kind of what I was saying before. Is I have felt really comfortable with these Yap sessions. I've been feeling very, like I said, relaxed, and I've been feeling a lot less pressure on. It's kind of wanky, but like feeling the need to be performative. I was going to say a different word, but that's actually the word I mean. I've not been feeling this pressure to be performative, and I think it's actually, I don't know how you guys are finding, but it's making me feel a lot more chill and relaxed, and hopefully you guys are enjoying that that vibe as well. And so I don't feel like I do have to stretch out the streams, or that I do have to be too consistent. It's just you guys will turn up when it suits you, and I'll turn up when it suits me, and then we'll just do whatever we feel like. It's just been nice, because I think, like I said, when I was saying that, I think I was putting a lot of pressure on the channel to make money, like I've said, to be very, very transparent. It made me feel like if we, if we didn't hit this goal, for example, it's like what can I do to I don't know, and it's not so fun. It's not so fun. And so it's just nice to kind of hang. And you guys just, yeah, like I said, no obligations. It's good. Didn't find the Usher, but the announcer watched Matt Berry. I did see Matt Berry. Hello, as I live and breathe. How you been going, son of a gun? Well, I have been going very well. I've just been taking it nice and chill, nice and easy since my 2 weeks in UK. It's been going very well for me. Ooh, yes, maybe I can go. No, I'm not going to go back to the cafe, because that will be coming on too strong. If I'm going to the cafe, it's not going to be the one where the D&D barista is. I don't want them to feel like they have to explain why they haven't messaged me. Thanks, Manu. Oh, and Clem, yeah, I'm here too, I guess. And so, yeah, and you guys are just wonderful. So thank you for continuing to be wonderful. And I'm glad that we can just hang out, because it is, like I said, it just takes off so much pressure, and I'm just having a good time. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling very positive. I'm feeling genuinely positive as well. So, thanks, guys. 2 weeks in the UK, so that's why you've been seeing your streams pop up in normal times. Welcome to Europe. Thank you so much. Yes, it is only 10:30 in the morning for me. Once I get my PC set up, hopefully this week, then we can play some games. And so a time like this where I've yapped for 2 hours, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm done now, but let's play some video games. And so I think that will be nice too, but without that, I'm kind of like, yeah, just we'll call it them. Go catch some Pokemons. I think so as well. Go find some buggies. Showing up wherever is just more natural. Exactly, like it in the vibe. Same as the couch streams. Yes, we still have the couch, because that is Rumi's stream. Rumi's couch. And so I did think about being on the couch today, and then I went, no, we have our desk, and I'm gonna use it. So we're finding our rhythm as a community as well. Yeah, just show up, exactly. Be excellent, indeed. Yeah, you can go get some sleep, please do. And hopefully in the future, it'll be more like in the mornings rather than having to stay up late. But we're working it out. So thanks everyone, genuinely. So thanks for, if you guys have been here for only today, if you guys have been here for 5 years, we're coming up on, Jesus Christ, superstar. It is such a pleasure to be doing what I'm doing, and I think that I'm hoping that going forward, I'm knowing that going forward, I'm feeling like we can just kind of, like I said, not have so much pressure, and it is a very, very freeing thing. So thank you everyone. I'm done now.